Ever since I was a kid, there were two things that I loved. Spider-Man, obviously, and Power Rangers. And like many hardcore Power Rangers fans, I came upon the original show from Japan, Super Sentai. If you didn't know already, the 30-year-long show actually came from a show in Japan that's been running for nearly 50 years. Here in America, we just got some footage from them, threw some teenagers in spandex, did some ADR, and it became the 90s sensation we all know and love today. And ever since I can remember, I've loved the show. Up until like RPM. Then it kind of fizzled out for me. I kind of grew out of it, you know? You grow out of things, but I still have an immense love and appreciation for what came before. And when I did grow out of it, I actually moved on to Super Sentai up until like Kyoryuger. Then that's when, again, I just kind of grew out of it. It's a kid's show made to sell toys. I'm gonna grow out of it at some point. Though I did love the 2017 Power Rangers movie, and I will never forgive anyone who had to do with that movie not getting a sequel. I love that movie. However, we're not here to talk about Power Rangers or Super Sentai. Instead, we're going to be talking about another show from Japan that's kind of like the sister show to Super Sentai. I'm talking about Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider is a show that's similar to Super Sentai and Power Rangers, in which we have colorful costumed heroes fighting rubber monsters, but it just kind of hits different. Did I say that right? I don't know, it didn't feel right coming out of my mouth. With this show lasting over 50 years, we see armored heroes fighting evil with a new character every season. Originally, my love for this show started around the time I first moved to Korea. I got to watch the Korean dub of all the shows in like the late 2000s, and I was able to buy a lot of the toys. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Then, sadly, like Super Sentai and Power Rangers, I kind of grew out of the show, but not for the same reasons. I didn't necessarily grow out of the show like I did Power Rangers or Super Sentai. I just kind of got more into DC and Marvel because a lot of those movies and shows were popping off around the time. And I just kind of simply moved my interest more towards them. Because again, this is when the MCU was big. This was when DC was trying to do their MCU thing. The last Kamen Rider season I watched like concurrently was probably Gaim, and then I kind of took a break from it, and then I came back for Build, but then I kind of stopped. And you know, Build was like was it my sophomore year of high school or my junior year of high school? I think it was my sophomore year of high school. So that was the last season I watched up until a couple of years ago. This was when Kamen Rider Geats started premiering. And I don't know why I decided to just randomly watch it. Like, I kind of kept up with like Kamen Rider news and whatnot, but I never actually watched any of the shows post-build. But something about Geats was just really enticing when I first saw the poster and everything. And then the story about it being like a death game scenario, much like Squid Game or Battle Royale or Hunger Games, it really interested me to see what it would be like for Kamen Riders to fight each other in like death game scenarios. Like I said before, this season revolves around a death game where Kamen Riders fight each other to make their greatest desire come true. Now, not everyone is like this perfect hero or even like a villain, really. They're just normal people who want their desires to come true, so they fight as Kamen Riders. This season is like actually really, really good, so much so that it got an American release. Like, you can watch it like free with ads on YouTube. If you know Kamen Rider, you can barely get Kamen Rider anywhere outside of Japan. And this season really re-sparked my interest in the tokusatsu genre, so I started watching that, and I absolutely loved it, so much so I started collecting the toys again. You can probably see it in the background right here. That's my favorite rider right now, Kamen Rider Buffa, from that season at least. And so when this season ended, I decided to stick around for the next season. And the next season was Kamen Rider Gotchard. Oh, I have a love-hate relationship with this season. Like, it's parts Pokemon, parts Full Metal Alchemist, like, because it has to do with alchemy. but they never really focus on the alchemy part, really. Like, they do it in their own way, but like it's not alchemy like majority of people probably think of alchemy. Like, the best way I could describe this season of Kamen Rider was that it was a really fun mess. They did a lot of fun things in the show, but they just couldn't keep like a straightforward kind of thing. They had to do a bunch of things that some of the things never got resolved. So I was just kind of like, why set up a few things and then not have them happen, and then why like do stupid stuff? Again, I like the show. I love the show. It's just a mess of a show. In fact, I loved this season so much, I actually based my D&D character off of him. Well, actually, one of the forms he takes. My D&D character that I'm playing as right now is named Daddy Merlin. That's Daddy, D-A-E-D-I, not Daddy, Daddy. And because I loved my D&D character so much and it's just been so fun playing as him, I decided this year for Halloween, I had a Halloween party I had to go to. Thanks, Billy and Laura, for inviting me. I decided I was going to dress up as my D&D character / Kamen Rider Gotchard as one of Gotchard's forms. In fact, it only took me a single day to make this costume. Yep, this is my Kamen Rider cosplay, and like my only cosplay of the year. Now, obviously, this isn't the most pristine costume I've ever made. I mean, I literally made it in a day. I got the hoodie, sewed in like a zipper that goes all the way to the top, did the bunny ears, painted all of this with some like tulip spray fabric paint, just using a stencil. It's not like a serious cosplay where I put a lot of time and energy in it. It's just a Halloween costume in reality, or like a fun little casual cosplay. Like, I like it. It's just a stupid little fun thing. And hell, it won me funniest costume at the party. I got the award and everything. Shout out to Laura, who I'm guessing made this. It's gonna go right there next to the Spider-Man she made me. So yeah, I love this cosplay, just because it's just so connected to my D&D character and the show that I love watching. It's a nice casual costume. It's just a hoodie, literally just a floating hoodie. What's not funny about that? And honestly, I'm probably one of the stronger characters in our campaign. I'm a fucking floating hoodie who sometimes turns into a giant bat mech because we're fighting giants. You know, I had to have that in there. Thank God for Gotchard for having so many random forms that are just so fun. Like, this is best cosplay. So now that we got this bit of Halloween fun out of the way, let's talk about my real next project. The one that's actually going to take up a lot of time and money. So the next project and full costume I'm going to be making is Kamen Rider Gav, the half-alien gummy-based rider. Not going to lie, when I first saw this costume, like on the poster, on the first reveal, I was kind of like, eh. But then as we got more photos and we got to see it in motion, I actually really like the gummy kind of motif and costume. Like, it's both very simple and very complicated at the same time. And like, I've been watching the show every week when it comes out on Sundays, and it's just really damn good. I have to say, they really turned it up a notch from the last season, and I personally can't find any real flaws about it. It's just a great season of Kamen Rider. I love both the design and the show, and I really wanted to do a Kamen Rider cosplay for years, so this is who I'm doing. So let's go into how I just realized I should probably put the helmet in the background. Let me do that.
I just recorded like 10 minutes of footage that the audio is useless for. I love doing this. God damn it.
Hi, it's editing Johnny again. So my gear is just failing on me. Even while I was filming, the camera just wasn't working 100%. This is what happens when you film videos with a camera that's like a decade old, I think. So all of this audio for the arguably important bit of the video is just useless. It does not sound great. I thought I had the audio problem solved after the initial fuck up, but no, it just sounds bad. I apologize. So I apologize for the terrible audio you're going to be hearing in this very important section of the video, but I just don't feel like recording. I already put away my gear. It's just gonna have to be the way it is. I apologize again, but yeah, so bear with the horrible audio. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So the costume can be broken down into 3 basic parts: the undersuit, the armor, and then the dummy armor. Now for the undersuit, it's not your classic Kamen Rider undersuit where it's just like a one-piece suit and then like there's a zipper in the back and you do your Kamen Rider stuff. Looking at the costume and looking at the back, you can see that there is no zipper on the back. You can kind of see an indent of a zipper, but there is no physical zipper on the back of the costume. So what I think that means is they're kind of doing like an overall system for the costume. What I mean by that is that there's some sort of under like shirt where the sleeves are visible, and then over that goes an overall kind of suit. So like the pants and like the shirt are kind of connected in a way where like you can hide under the armor, but the suit actor can still move their arms and do all the crazy stunts that they have them doing this season. So to be as accurate as possible, I will also be trying to do that. Not exactly sure how that's gonna work. I did see a set photo of last year's show of the tertiary rider. There was like a behind the scenes photo and he had like an overall system. So I'm just guessing that's what they were doing again. So I'm going to be trying my best to. And like this design is actually pretty simple. It's just like silver bits and then like some little tiny like seam line work. It's not going to be that difficult. This is probably going to be the easiest part of this cosplay. The second easiest part is going to be just like the regular armor. The regular armor pieces, like all the black and silver bits, I'm just going to be 3D printing them on a regular FDM printer with PLA plastic, like I have for this helmet. It's all 3D printed. I even have the eyes, but they're in the workshop right now. And then, yeah, but I won't be using this print for the faceplate. The faceplate and all the other gummy armor bits, besides maybe the shoulders, which I'm thinking about just FDM printing too, I'm going to be using my new resin printer. Now, this resin printer is the Elgu Saturn II, and it is very broken. The way that I got it was my friend called me up. He was like, hey, I got a resin printer from this guy, and then this guy got it from another guy, and yeah, it's just broken. I don't really have a need for this big resin printer? Like, I'm gonna get a smaller one. Do you just want it and fix it up yourself? And I was like, yes. Why would I turn down an opportunity like this? Yes, I'll do it. So yeah, I got a free resin printer, and it's broken, so I have to fix the touch screen and then like replace the vat, like film. But other than that, I got a free resin printer. So once I have that machine up and running, and then I get a wash and cure station, obviously, I'm going to be attempting to print all of the gummy armor pieces in clear resin. Now there's one major flaw with that plan, and that is the build plate is not big enough for all of the armor pieces. Like, there are certain bits, and when I mean certain bits, I mean mostly the chest piece, where I can, because like it separates kind of itself in like 6 sections. So I think I can print those sections by themselves, but it's just like everything else that's like way too big for the build plate. That's the problem. So I'm going to be kind of experimenting with that, whether it be kind of like separating the pieces by color and then kind of doing something with that, or just trying to find a way to seamlessly bind the clear resin pieces. I did try to do research on like binding clear resin, but I don't think anyone like done it or made a video or posted about it on Reddit yet. I've seen other videos of people like using resin prints together with just like regular like gray resin, but I haven't really seen it done with clear resin. If you've done it before, comment down below and tell me how did it turn out. Hopefully good. I would like for this to work, so I can say, oh yeah, I have a resin printed costume, you know. And by the way, I almost forgot. The helmet and the body armor files I'm going to be using are by RA Product on Etsy. He's a really cool designer. Like, he's designed a lot of Toku stuff. This is like one of the few times he actually does like full armor like files. So like I have to use them, and like they're insanely accurate. I can't wait to start printing them. And yeah, go ahead and check him out on Instagram and his Etsy. You can find a bunch of like Toku stuff you can print on there. And he's just a great guy. I actually got to talk with him a little bit because I was having trouble unzipping the files, and he was just gracious enough to give me advice on how to do it and like the correct way to do it. So yeah, great guy. Give him a follow, and yeah, thank him for putting out all these amazing files, because I'm going to be using them to make this costume. The only part I will have to kind of design myself are the shoes. I mean, obviously besides the bodysuit, no one really puts pattern files out for Kamen Rider bodysuits, but I will, I guess. But yeah, the shoes are the only things he really didn't include in the armor files, so I will have to come up with something for that, whether it be just making it out of EVA foam or like actually casting them in urethane, because I've done that for soles before, so that might be interesting for me to try. But yeah, this project is very going to be. But yeah, I'm hoping for this project to be very mixed media. I really want to like try my hand at resin printing. I want to try my hand at, you know, creating whatever the hell undersuit is. It's going to be a very intense project, but I am also just very excited to work on it.
Okay, I'm going to film the outro like this because maybe I should just start recording with an iPhone. Maybe I should just go the Adam Savage route. Yeah. But I hope you guys enjoyed majority of this video. I know you guys probably didn't like the audio in that last half, but we're just going to roll with the punches at this point. Make sure to subscribe so you can see how this costume turns out. It's going to be very exciting to do, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, and I can't wait to finish it. Yeah, make sure to subscribe. The next video will be a interesting one, to say the least. I'm not going to say exactly what it is. If you've seen my previous videos, you might know what it is, but yeah, so just check out my previous videos if you want to know what the next video might be. Emphasis on the might. But yeah, editing Johnny out.